Brought to you by IWC Radio.com. It's the internet's most irreverent wrestling podcast. Now, please welcome Beans, Smoot, Chucks, and Will. This is the IWC.
Hello everyone and welcome to IWC Radio. This is episode 155 and we're coming to you live on youtube.com and on iTunes. I'm your host Marty Nolan and I'm being joined as usual by Smoot, Chucks and Will. How's it going, guys?
Good. Pretty good. I kind of messed up the audio recording just a little bit, but I caught it at the very, very start. So maybe I think the intro might have gotten cut off. But regardless, we're okay.
It's okay, they know where we are.
I can hear Chucks silently cheering that news.
I was muted, but you could still hear it.
I could. I've got the window open ever so slightly, and I just thought I had, even through the headphones, I could hear Chucks all the way over in Bristol.
Yeah. However much it is, 200 miles away.
Yeah. Them sound travels quick over them hills. But hey ho. So yes, we're back. We will be reviewing WWE's UK shows, which I think have been a talking point just purely because they've been quite different to previous years. But yeah, we'll be going through that. But first, guys, I live up to my promises, and I would just like to point out.
Hey!
Can I just point out that Pepsi just went all over my laptop? There we go. And even the...
I can actually join you, actually. Hold on.
What? Oh.
What the hell? Sorry. I don't have one this week.
Funnily enough...
Boom! I can't believe the originator of this is the only one to let the team down.
And
listen to
out
that
as well.
pouring noise.
Yeah.
And here I am drinking apple juice like a sucker.
Well, that's ironic because I just finished my glass of apple juice. As well, that I almost called orange juice.
Well, I was going to actually have a beer, but I had to take some paracetamol because I've had a headache. So, I didn't want to sound screw-whiff on the middle of the show, as I start to get affected by drugs and alcohol, So
I'm pretty sure you'd be all right with a paracetamol.
Yeah. I trust me, I get scared to death over these things. Like when they say that you can take paracetamol like 2 every 4 hours. I will be one that will be looking at the clock when it's 3 hours, 59 minutes going, only another 60 seconds.
I'm going to really scare you now. I took 3 yesterday.
Whoa. Well,
I'm still
the first stage to tackling a drug issue is admitting that you have a drug issue.
Well, there you
go. Ed's joined us in the chat, and he is asking whether, since this is a WWE UK tour special, is it tape delayed?
Well, I can confirm that it's going to have very low ratings.
Oh. And also the sound might be tampered with.
I'll answer that question in about 6 hours.
And also, nothing of any worth will happen on it. Well, that's true. There's actually basically no news this week.
Yeah.
There has been very little happening, which, this might be seen as a good thing, because normally whenever there's news, it's normally bad news. So, yeah. Obviously, Raw and SmackDown took place in the O2 in London this week, with a series of 205, and I believe they did main event and the usual as well. So they did a show in Norwich as well, which was the UK Championship #1 contendership, I believe, for the takeover. So yeah, there were a few things that took place, but with regards to Raw and SmackDown, did we get anything new?
No, I thought they were both. Well, overall, with what I have seen, I just thought it was not what we've come to expect from the UK shows.
Yeah, I think it kind of got off on a bad foot when Raw just seemed to be. I mean, the crowd seemed quite somber when you was watching it, and there was a lot of rumors taking place that the sound was tampered with slightly for the crowd because, Strowman got a large reaction and Roman got a very negative one. So it did make you wonder how much had been kind of played about with sound-wise, but according to those in attendance, actually the crowd were a little bit quieter than usual, even, actually in person. So I can't blame them either because the show just seemed to be there. Nothing happened. So, sorry, I've just read Ed's comment in the chat, and he's just saying, so since the in-ring news is limited, let's go off the board. The Rock is thinking of running for the president of the United States. Would you vote for him over Donald Trump?
I'd prefer him over anyone.
I was just going to say, yeah. There's very little people that I wouldn't vote for over Donald Trump, I think, at this stage. This might be more of a question suitable for Smoot.
Who would you vote for over The Rock? The Rock as president? Imagine.
If The Rock was the president...
That sounds like the best thing that could happen.
I would vote for Barack Obama over The Rock.
Really?
Yeah. I think Rock would be paper champion to Barack Obama coming back for his in-ring return. Smoot, what do you think? I'm not hearing Smoot, so
that's Smoot's opinion.
Ed's suggested Paul Heyman. Yes, the speeches would be rather epic. But yeah, I don't want to get into Donald Trump too much. It's a bit scary. And the UK hasn't been faring too well either in the world of politics and the NHS this weekend either, have they?
Let's not talk about that.
I was wondering whether to query it with you, Will. And I had wonders whether your world had gone into meltdown.
It's actually quite funny. I was on a half day yesterday.
Oh God!
So I left work at 10 to 1. And get a flurry of text messages about an hour later.
I can imagine. Did you get called back in like CTU in 24 or?
I was expecting to, but no, I didn't.
Did you just go, just pay the money on the screen, for God's sake?
But yeah, apparently it was pretty chaotic from what I've been told. And
I can imagine.
People, from what I've been told, sinister people. Well, I mean, the department I work in is 24 hours anyway. But obviously there was a lot more people in all night last night and up until today. And touch wood, things now seem to be back to normal. But
yeah,
I wouldn't have liked to have been. I'm glad I did take the half day because I wouldn't have liked to have been there.
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm back, by the way. I had to take care of some things around the house. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Was anyone breaking into your house?
No.
Was it Bray Wyatt?
Okay.
No Bray Wyatt.
Just checking.
Where did Chucks leave? He's not in the call.
He's not.
He's not. Chucks? He's not.
He's not. Maybe. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we've lost Chucks. Maybe this is maybe it was Donald Trump after all the conversations about The Rock.
Maybe he was hacked.
Oh wow!
They've gone for IWC Radio now.
I was just gonna say, if you get a message come up on your screen while you're watching this now,
maybe that
we'll have to get in touch with the government.
Maybe that ransomware got him.
Yeah.
I think he might be back. Let's see.
I'm hoping Chucks has been back. Been back.
I've been back.
Did you have to pay the ransom to get through the?
I think I've missed it.
Came on the screen.
What message came on the screen?
The ransomware attack. Did it get you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god! Are you on planet Earth at the minute?
Ransom? What?
Yeah, there's
ransomware.
The malware attack that went after a bunch of computers a couple days ago. Where it would lock your files down on your computer, and you had to pay the hackers $300 or something to unlock it.
Oh, right. No, I've been having.
Have you been living in a hole?
More or less, but I'm familiar with the idea. I just didn't know that was a big thing lately.
It took out most of the NHS yesterday.
Yeah.
Huh? Well.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
oh wow!
I don't. Where would I have heard this?
It's all over the news.
Pretty much
the news. Here we go. As if I watched the news.
I take it you didn't have any kind of hospital appointment yesterday, then?
No.
Oh, it's a good job you didn't.
Oh, there was something about the NHS. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. I did. That sounds familiar.
Wow.
The NHS had problems. I think I've heard that story before.
Well, yeah.
Scarcity of resources in the NHS. No, I've been having actual interwebs problems for a long time. It keeps cutting out. I'll probably disappear again at some point. It just keeps cutting out. My browser tells me my ISP needs me to log in. Which I haven't done in at least 15 years. It's AOL dial-up or something. I called Sky about it today. They told me to unplug a thing from a thing, and I did, and it hasn't helped. I may need a new router or something.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
We were just explaining that I have excellent timing in taking half days in work. Because this whole thing kicked off yesterday afternoon. And I'd left work an hour before.
And what, it affected your work?
Well, I work in an IT department in the NHS.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. That just makes you look really suspicious.
It does, actually.
Especially seeing as one of our hosts on the show disappears. So it's your fault, Will.
Right.
And also, I'm not sure I should now read this out, seeing as Ed mentioned in the chat that Beans' computer will be attacked by ransomware and hackers will make him watch the entire collection of Mojo Rawley's matches to get him to access the computer again.
And you'll just say, not worth it, and buy a new one.
I'll be very tempted. Just see me smash it with a hammer. It had a good run. Speaking of Mojo Rawley, did everyone see the absolute wonderful segment that he had on Raw this week, where he gave a guided tour to children to the Andre the Giant
I did, yeah.
Memorial Battle Royal Trophy?
He should not be that close to children.
Yeah, it was a strange segment, this. It involved him giving a long story, which we can only presume is his own story about him being bullied as a child, which was okay because he managed to turn into Mojo Rawley and made friends with Rob Gronkowski, and then he won a big gold cheese trophy. Oh, and the child assaulted him, which he looked like he was going to murder the child, but then said it was okay. So we can only presume that when he said, come on, let's go to the next bit of the tour, kids, as soon as that camera switched off, he murdered this child.
Probably.
But,
Probably.
I don't know. What a bizarre segment. I just don't... What was the purpose in it? Was it just to try and get kids to like him? And also, anytime that the kid sees him at the next public signing, they're probably going to kick him in the shin.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That's how I'm going to raise my child. Let's find Mojo Rawley and you can kick him in the shin. So yeah, that was one segment on the ever wonderfully entertaining Raw this week. We had Braun Strowman also come out saying that he could be Kalisto with one arm, and then had to face him basically. And do you know it's been that many days since it's happened? I can't even remember what did happen.
Nothing.
Nothing.
They were about to have the match, and then Big Dog came out.
Yeah. And basically, Braun Strowman has suffered a legitimate injury to his elbow, I believe. And
Is it
he's
legitimate?
going to, well, I don't know. He's going to require 1 to 2 months off.
I think it is legit, because apparently they're talking about rearranging plans for Great Balls of Fire. Can't believe they said that. Hopefully it's the name they're going to rearrange.
Seriously.
Oh, did you see the wonderful thing where Dean Ambrose also said that you had a great idea for a pay-per-view name to Kurt Angle on the phone?
See, yeah, I thought that this might be where they introduce it, because then that would have worked. A crazy Dean Ambrose idea, I'd have gone with that. But no, it's just some random idea they made up in an office.
Mm. And they thought it'd be funny to like have a laugh at themselves on the live television show about it. So it's just bizarre. Also, can someone tell Dean Ambrose that when he does a segment where he rings someone or he speaks to someone on the phone, that he could just actually ring someone on his phone, so at least it doesn't look like his home screen on the phone? It really, really annoys me. You see it in TV shows as well, and I just feel like changing channel.
I mean, I noticed that there's twice you've done that now as well.
Yep. I'll let it slide once, Dean.
Get off
Ed
with
said
a
in
warning.
the chat that the doctors told Braun that they've not finished with him yet. I'm sorry, Ed's correcting me. Mojo Rawley was on SmackDown, not Raw. I do apologize.
Okay.
I'm completely wrong. This is how good this week's been. It's been a complete blur. But yeah. We've lost Chucks again, unfortunately. So Sky are going to get another phone call off him in a minute, I think.
Can I just going off topic a minute. We mentioned before about we did the can noises, and I'm drinking something I've never drank before. It's found it in a shop. Pepsi made with real sugar.
Pepsi made of real sugar.
Yeah, apparently they took real sugar out of it years ago, and now they use some sort of sugar substitute.
Yeah.
This is like some sort of throwback thing where they're making it with real sugar again.
Yeah, same with Mountain Dew, and I think Dr. Pepper has like a throwback edition.
I've had 2 cans of this in the last hour, and I'm getting a headache.
I was just going to say, I'm not surprised. Do you know how many spoonfuls of sugar are in that thing?
I know. I'm really considering not drinking the rest of it.
I really wouldn't. Like, it's the small can is like 8 spoons of sugar.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a very quick road to like a very serious diabetes attack. Yeah, because I try not to have too much, and I used to drink quite a bit of Coke actually, and I had normal Coke not that long back, and my God, same thing. It just kind of hit you, and you thought, really, is this the kind of effect it should have on you?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I get that, but this is like 10 times that. Because this is like
yeah.
Whatever the substitute they put in is strong on its own. So, yeah, I won't be buying this again.
You need to like drink half and half for a day or something.
Yeah.
I think I'll stick to water.
Good call.
So Ed said in the chat, is WWE better off doing a TV Super Show on Monday and doing a re-air of some Mania programming or some WWE Network programming on the USA Network than do house shows on Tuesday in the UK? You see, no, I think the issue is that when WWE started doing the TV broadcasts in the UK, it was all well and good because we got house shows every year, and they started doing them a bit more regular. We know that in April and November they're going to be in the UK now. And pretty much like me, I'm in Manchester, so I know that Manchester will get a show at least once a year, and it's normally the November one.
Sorry, before you carry on, they actually announced that the next set of tapings are going to be in Manchester.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So the issue is like I remember when they first started happening, and then they said that they were going to do tapings. Everyone got excited about it, and you feel that this has now kind of run its course, as in that's great, we're getting a show, but we know that for the last few years, absolutely nothing has happened on these shows. They're never really that important. They're on a tape delay, and we've been there, done that now. And I think the issue, and I know I bring it up a lot and I whinge about the WrestleMania thing in the UK, but I do think that this is a thing for the UK fans, that there's a point where they feel like they deserve a little bit more, and they don't feel that progression is there. I know we had the takeover event, which was great, but you look at the reactions that the crowd normally gets, and there is an element of editing things if need be, because there is that delay. Whereas with takeover, there wasn't that, and it was a great reception. It was a great show. I just think, and I'm not banging on about WrestleMania, but I do think you're reaching a point where you need to start thinking about doing a pay-per-view in the UK. You need to do some, or at least make the Raw and SmackDown feel important, and it's not one that's just treading water as you go along. And I think it's not just the UK thing. I think the TV has not been that great in the last few weeks anyway, because everything's been messed up with this superstar shake-up. And they are just treading water, and I think they just want to get the next set of pay-per-views out the way, and I think things will pick up again around Money in the Bank time as you're heading into SummerSlam, that kind of thing. But it is a bit of a shame, and I just think that they do need to do a little bit more.
You say that though, but if you look at last year, when was it in Glasgow?
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah. And they came across really good. The crowd were hot, all night, and.
But again, that was the first time they'd ever done a taping.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So it does make you wonder.
Yeah.
Whether it's just that. I mean, maybe the answer. Sorry, go on.
Triple H's comments, because he was out on the UK taping in Norwich, wasn't he?
Yes.
And apparently before the show, he come out and introduced us to the show and what have you, and did a little speech to the crowd. And there was some chance of "We Want Mania."
Hey.
To which he then replied, and I've got the quote here. I've lost it now. Sorry, 1 second. He then replied, "Oh, you want Mania? I can get you the code for the travel packages. It's only 7 hours away. I do that journey all the time. Don't keep bitching."
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's only 7 hours away. That's all right, Triple H. When you're running a company, then money isn't a concern for you. But a lot of UK fans, they don't get the opportunity to go over and see that. So you're not talking like, traveling a couple of hours in a car to another place or whatever and things like that. It is an absolute massive cost.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, I understand that it might not always be easy to do and it's not always possible. But when you respond like that, you're not going to get a good response from fans.
What a knob.
I mean, all you had to do, especially in the place was full of genuine fans as well. They're not like the casual fans you get at a tape or anything like that. All you had to do is just say something, working on it or something like that. But come up with that a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, even Cena's said it in the past when it was on one of the Raws, I think, where he was like, "Oh, this place deserves one." He doesn't have to say that it's happening. You can just acknowledge it. I mean, to set fans to stop bitching is a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I knew that he'd said something that weren't suggesting it would happen. So. But I didn't realize he'd actually said that to fans, which I think is a bit low.
Yeah, it was at the UK Championship tapings. And even in the ring, as he said it, and they were all chanting, "We want Mania." So.
Wow.
I was going to say, was this around the same time when he told people it weren't about the barbecue chairs?
Yeah.
So maybe we got Triple H on a bad day because he seemed to be on form for shooting things down.
There was quite a funny video if you look on Twitter for it. There was Smoot, you probably won't have heard of it, but Bean, you probably have. Alan Partridge. They were all chanting Dan at him. At Triple H.
I don't know if Smoot will know this one.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
But they were just chatting Dan for a good 10 minutes, and he didn't have a clue what they were talking about.
He's probably angry. That's why he gave the responses that he did. He's just angry. He doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's why I'm thinking about it now, whether Raw and SmackDown were a bit subpar, shall we say. Because I think maybe they had their attention on other things this week in the UK. With the UK show being taped.
Yeah, it does make you think. I mean, it shouldn't be, but the sad thing is you do feel that these kind of politics do happen, and it's just, yeah. I understand people's concerns with it, and I know there's the argument of the time element and things like that, but I just don't think it's a good enough reason for it. And the real reason for it is the amount of production and cost it would probably do to do that in this country, which I get completely. I mean, you look at what they did in Orlando this year for the amount of setup that they had on that stage. If you were thinking of doing something on that scale in a stadium in the UK, that's a lot of work, and I understand that. So why not just give us a pay-per-view in a normal arena? You know, what has it been? It's been about 10 years what they've been doing Raw and SmackDown tapings in the UK now, probably.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit less, but have they been doing that for that long?
I think you're right. It was 2007 was the first one. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, so if you did the next 5 years of just doing pay-per-views over here,
yeah,
even if it was just B pay-per-views, people would be happy, and then go the next stage. In about 10 years' time, give us a big SummerSlam or something. Start looking at your Mania, because you're talking 8, 9, 10 years down the line. You're hoping that you're going to be in a better situation and more of a global company. So yeah. Anyway, that's that. Sorry, Ed did put a comment in earlier, and I did mean to read it out. So he put, the lack of importance is why I bring up the idea of a super show. If you make it a throwaway show, then at least stick it up with as much talent as in company as possible. Yeah, I get that, but also if they're doing Raw and SmackDown, you know, they're still going to want to have to meet the commitments, and the advertisers probably won't be happy if the Tuesday night wasn't a SmackDown and it was just a rerun of something of something else. They're not going to get the same viewing. So, and I think that's the reason, like the house shows that they do, you know, you can get anything on the house shows. So it is what it is. I understand why, but I just think they could have made a little bit more effort with the shows they did.
I have noticed these upcoming tour now in November. Normally they do schedule a show, for example, on a Monday night they'll have a SmackDown house show somewhere else in the UK.
Right.
I've noticed this time around they haven't done that. They've got just the Raw scheduled and the same on the Tuesday for SmackDown, so maybe that will help.
Yeah, and there's that thing of how much do you know, how long ago? It was only a couple of months back that there was one night where there was like 4 or 5 shows taking place on the same night.
Yeah, funny enough, Triple H tweeted something similar this weekend, or last weekend, I should say.
Yeah.
He said the Raw was just in the US. SmackDown was the next day, and then there was the NXT live events and the UK Championship events and stuff.
Yeah.
It just gets to a point where you think, you know, there's a bit too much. Even we joke about there's too much to watch. Surely it gets to a point where there's too much to actually put on the shows.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, they've got such an in-depth talent roster that I can understand that it can spread it thin across different areas, but it's just, you're reaching a point where you're watering everything down to the point, and you're thinking, how much money are they making off each of these shows?
Mm-hmm.
So business-wise, it's got to be going well. It's not...
We were joking on Sunday, weren't we? There's a package that they sell for these UK shows, which is £400. So you're talking, what's that, $300-ish?
No, if it's £400, it'd be about nearly $450.
Oh, yeah, sorry, it's the other way, isn't it? Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. And that's just for a house show.
That's ridiculous.
You get a meet and greet, and you get a bit of merchandise and a decent seat.
Wow.
But even so, for that kind of money for a house show is ridiculous. But people
It's actually $515.
Right.
Fine. Welcome back, Chucks.
Cheers. I went through a lot to get back here.
Yeah.
Did you have to sign in through your ISP again?
I'm using the neighbor's Wi-Fi.
I'm sure that you can thank them tomorrow. But yeah, it is. I mean,
15. I mean, but people are paying it. People will carry on paying it.
That's it, because, and this is the sad thing, is yes, it's a business, but you're taking advantage of fans' desire to see a product because they don't get to see it as often as people in the US.
Yeah.
And you can go to a show in America and you can get seats for near the top tier, and it'll be what? I'm sure, I mean, it might be different now, but I remember seeing ones and they were about $15, I think.
Mm.
And like a baseball game, the ticket was something like $18 for one of the seats, and we went, and it was just like, all right, you're not sitting right at the front but you think I'm paying about 10, 15 quid for something here, and it's like, it's a completely different mindset, but they come here and the prices are absolutely through the roof, even for normal seats in comparison to what it is in the States. So they are taking advantage of that system.
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
I don't know if that's a problem, though. If people aren't willing to pay for it, they'll stop doing it.
Mm.
It is, yeah. But sorry, Chucks, I don't know if you heard before.
Probably not. No.
We were just talking. Triple H gave a response to the crowd when they were making a chant in Norwich for the. They were all chanting that they wanted Mania.
Oh, right. Well, that's fair. Yeah.
And he told them to stop bitching.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
How in character was he?
It was before the show, and he was joking about with the fans. And I'll read the quote to you now. Exactly. It's here we go. Sorry, 1 minute. Yeah, before the show started taping, and he turned around and said, they were chatting, "We want Mania." And he said, "Oh, you want Mania? I can get you the code for the travel packages. It's only 7 hours away. I do that journey all the time. Don't keep bitching."
Yeah, you do that journey all the time on an absolute huge salary, and that's your job.
On a private jet, exactly.
Yeah. But we were saying, as you were saying before, he could have just turned around and said, "Oh, yeah, we're working on it."
Mm.
But to say something like that's a little bit not nice.
The hell's Liverpool?
That wasn't the best phrasing. But then I don't know if he's just trying to be authority Triple H a little bit, giving us a bit of a bit of an in-character response.
Yeah.
Well, according to the reports, 2 minutes later he was telling the fans how they're only there because of them. And
right.
They should have all just walked out.
Not if they pay 400 quid to be there.
Right. Oh, true, yeah. They've already made that money. You might as well get it in your money's worth.
But that's the kind of thing, like you're saying, they're taking advantage. I think it's okay to do as long as you can do it. Charge as much as you can. That's good business. That's best for business. But if you go to a show for £400, if you think, yeah, I'm actually that into this show, I'm going to pay that much money, and you go and it's a Raw show, or it's got Triple H telling you to stop bitching because you fairly want a WrestleMania after 30 plus years, then you're not likely to go back again. And I don't know how many people they're going to find every year who are willing to buy those seats.
Well, just going on the same thing there, I paid. When was the last taping in Manchester been? 2 years ago?
Year before last year.
I couldn't get tickets at all, and I'd booked the hotel room in Manchester. So I was kind of like, I need to get tickets one way or the other. So, as a last resort, I bought they call it the Ringsider package, and it was 300, but it was 300 quid a ticket, and I got 2 tickets. I paid on a credit card, man. And when I did it, I was obviously a bit. I've just paid 600 quid for a wrestling show, and to be honest, the only thing that made it worthwhile was the Undertaker came back on that show. I've never seen Undertaker live, but I would never do that again. I'd never not pay anywhere near that kind of money again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how long it'll be until they run out of people. Until they run off that many people. I'll pay 50, but I'm not paying 400. And in fact, actually, I'm at the point I won't pay 50. It's like the shows I've been to have been fine, but I don't know that they're any better than any indie that I could go to.
Yeah,
even in the UK, where the indie scene isn't huge, but it's enough.
Yeah.
I just want to see wrestling. I don't really care about the stars or the big names because they're not going to be here anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like I'm going to see AJ, which would be cool, but he's not going to be doing one of his Wrestle Kingdom matches. So it's like, I'll just go and see someone else instead, someone who I can pay £15 for, who's going to give me maximum effort.
Well, I don't know. That show we went on seeing on Sunday means there was tickets available before we went in for 45 quid.
Yeah.
I've noticed. Yeah.
I've noticed that when the last few times that I've been to the Manchester one, and obviously the SmackDown's changed now because it's a live show, but back then when SmackDown wasn't, it was, it was just a tape follow-up show. You always noticed that on the tops, the top tier at the MEN Arena, they'd shut it off because they obviously didn't sell them seats. So, Raw was always good and attendance was always there, but for the SmackDown, it struggled. And you're thinking, it's only going to be a matter of time, like we were saying, until people get a bit bored seeing this, done that, nothing really happens on them. They need to change something. They even need to change what they do with the booking on these shows. Even if it's just you make it into a bit of a big Raw and a big SmackDown and you put some championship matches on and you make it feel like something could happen on these shows just to generate a bit more interest in them. Or, like we said, you just give us a pay-per-view. Give us great balls of fucking fire. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just give us something different. You've done it for 10 years. Everything feels a little bit stale now. Just change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But there we go.
I don't know about you, but those cheapest tickets are 45 quid. For the show we got to see, I wouldn't have paid that.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's one of them things. Like I really enjoyed the show, but the price of it would change my mind.
Well, I mean, we won't go into details, but we didn't pay for our tickets.
Yeah,
and I think that makes a big difference because that show wasn't worth £35 of my £45.
And it is a little bit relative because if it's the first time that you've seen a show, then you're just happy to see the actual stars there and see entrances and things like that.
The first time you go is very cool.
Yeah.
Like if you've never been to, especially a WWE show, and you sit there and it looks like it does on TV, and I'm here. I'm actually here. It's a cool feeling, even if the set is, the dumbed down UK version with the big flags.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to them, they're putting a bit more effort into the house shows. Because, it wasn't so long ago, there wasn't a screen or anything. It was just that little bit of
Yeah, it's just
metal
a
square.
curtain thing that it came out of. Yeah.
So they're trying a little bit with that, but I know what you mean. Yeah, it's the first time you go, it's like, well, I remember the first time I walked in and saw because I went to the Raw in Manchester for the first time. You see the big set all lit up.
Yeah, me too. The first Raw TV.
Yeah, definitely. Ed's also just mentioned to give us a bit of perspective on how WWE overcharges people in Britain. For the Royal Rumble in the US, he paid about £80 for a ticket on the floor.
Wow. Yeah, I'll have one of them.
Exactly. So it's just, and I suppose also the business aspect of it is, as I understand that obviously there'll be a charge for the arena side of it, and they'll probably have to pay more because it's overseas than what they would if it was domestic, which I get that. But even so, they're still making, this is still a business. They won't be doing it if they weren't making money, and they're making money on this. So there needs to be a balance on it, really. And like you said,
charge crazy money for ringside, then fine. Like as we say, I'm sure. But
yeah,
I don't know how many times you can go back to that well.
Exactly, like you said, once you've seen it the first time, it's a bit different, and over time it'll change. And it's been 10 years now.
And it's still the same show that we see on TV. It's not like it is a pay-per-view or a Rumble or a WrestleMania, because people will pay thousands to go to a WrestleMania. And you can do that every year. If you come back to the UK every year and charge us £1,000, you'll still sell out. That'll be fine. But if it's just a Raw TV or a house show, and you're going to see the same matches you see all the time, and you know who's going to win, and how much can you really spend on that experience over and over? Not too much.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really. And sorry, we didn't say. There's a few pictures that I took from the event that Smoot's playing on the stream at this minute as well, for people if they're interested. I will be getting them up on Twitter and things all the time. I just need to process a lot of them, but they're just a few quick snapshots.
And you took
Look like you had some pretty good seats.
Beans, how many pictures did you take during this event?
Hang on. Let me.
Hang on's not a number.
Do you want the exact number or an estimate?
Exact number.
Exact number was 1,921 pictures. All I'll say is that my camera has a very fast shutter speed, and for things that happen in a few seconds, it's taken about 25 pictures. So it's not as bad as what it seems. I've got an awful lot of pictures of people when they're doing the poses, and I've got about 20 pictures of them doing the same pose, and it looks like the exact same picture. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, the seats weren't bad. Seats are pretty good.
Yeah.
From your pictures, it looks like you're more or less where the hard camera would be.
Yeah, I think we figured that out, didn't we? We were there. We
weren't that far. We were just a little bit above where the hard camera would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's prime.
And also on the one that you see at the minute of Dean Ambrose and The Miz, you notice that there's some tape on the mat in the corner. That was because Roman Reigns speared Braun Strowman through a table, and the table seemed to cut into the actual ring mat, and they needed to repair it before the next match. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think Smoot's going on it at the minute. But yeah. I did actually wonder with the news of Strowman, because it wasn't apparent the day when we was there that he had this injury. Obviously, they played up the fact that they were both still hurt from the match at Payback. But I did actually wonder whether this was another case of an injury taking place at this event. And also, I presume you're aware, but obviously Emma got injured on this show. She took the double knee drop from Sasha in the corner, and she injured her shoulder. I've not actually heard any more since, whether there's been any more news on what the full extent of the injuries are. I know she was waiting for results, so...
Yeah, she tweeted to say that they were waiting, but there's been nothing since.
Because it did look like... Probably it was at least a dislocation, I think, for the elbow, to the shoulder. Sorry, but I don't know any more than that. I did actually tweet. I don't know if you can put that up, Smoot, but I did tweet the slideshow of the shots that I got of the actual injury as well, where you can see, because a lot of people was having a go at Sasha for doing the move, and it weren't her fault.
No.
It was just bad. It was a position. I mean, it's an awkward move anyway. You're lying on the ropes and you have to get double kneed into the stomach and fall down onto the mat. And she just came down elbow first. She put her arm out to protect herself, and she just landed awkwardly on it. So
Actually, so it was like it was the bump itself more than the move. It wasn't really.
yeah. It was.
I
Just
always think that move looks really soft. Like you're not bumping into anything. You can kind of control your own fall. You take the knees, and then you've got all that room to kind of hang on the ropes and just drop down. And I always think it looks a bit weak, but I guess if you fall wrong, yeah, there it is, elbow out.
So yeah, she just landed elbow first, and her arm I don't know if you can see it on the other one that I sent Smoot, but you can see that her arm like stretches above her head, and it just it's the kind of position that like when you see it in football when players put their arms out when they land, and their arm, when they normally if they do the shoulder, it was the same kind of thing. So it didn't go right because they went to pin. Sasha went to pin her just in normal motion after the move, and Emma didn't kick out, but the referee stopped at the 2, and it all got a bit confusing. So the crowd started booing, and then everyone you could see was walking around, and Sasha and Bayley did look concerned. And then she just went over and pinned her again, and then they ended the match, and straight away a trainer came in the ring and helped her out. So Ed's put in the chat, I don't think Emma's injury was Sasha's fault, but I do think these kind of moves like Sasha's double knees or Del Rio's double foot stomp have impacts in awkward positions which are unnecessary. Yeah, it's one of them moves that when I see it, I don't think kind of like what you said, Chucks. It's a bit of it appears to be a soft move. It's not something that you kind of makes you go ooh when you see it. It's just it's kind of like the suicide dive to the outside half the time. It's a move that is not in today's world like a wow move, but then you see people like Big E nearly kill himself every week whenever he does it, and
arguably it cost Bryan his career, Daniel Bryan.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is just some moves that I think because we see it so often that you're desensitized to it, aren't you?
Yeah.
You don't, it's just another move. You feel like you need to see something else these days, which is more amazing kind of thing.
I just think like there are certain moves that you can take that aren't kind of bumping moves, if you know what I mean. Like you take a DDT, we could do that. You just drop to a knee and you're fine. But the moves that look like they hurt are like, obviously a power bomb or a suplex, you're falling from quite a height. It's all about the bump that makes you go, oh, that was a nasty one. Or if there's anything to do with the neck or the shoulder, the high angle bump. But that one and Del Rio's stomp, you're not going into anything. You're just hanging. So that always looked fine to me. I never thought it looked like much of a move at all. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised that that's where the injury came. But my problem with Del Rio's foot stomp is the setup for it. How people would always have to do that kind of awkward sit up and hold themselves there to take the move.
Yeah, it was just, and again, you think back to finishing moves that are, ones that, stand out. The ones that you can hit out of nowhere and you're not expecting to see them, and they're believable. And you think things like super kicks and stunners, they're the moves and RKOs. They're the kind of things that you appreciate when you see, but you also know that they're pretty, they're fairly safe moves to deliver. Well, especially with the people who are doing them. And then you think of things like you said, Del Rio stomp thing. The thing was, it was a dangerous move to do, but it was also the most ridiculous to set up.
Was it dangerous to do?
I think he's jumping directly down on them with the stomp, but
the stomp, I can imagine Finn Balor's stomp. I mean, I know he kind of crumples and falls down as he makes contact, but you're on the floor and you're being crushed. Sanjay Dutt used to do a moonsault into the double stomp, and he would just stick the landing. He wouldn't do that kind of, buckled knees and fall through. He would just land on the guy. Got no idea how he did that without killing his dude, crushing some ribs. But Del Rio's foot stomp, there's no. You take the move, but when you let go of the ropes, you're then just falling. There's no floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's. I just think that anything that the thing that annoyed, like the Roman Reigns thing with the Superman punch, I'm fine with the Superman punch, but him cocking his fist before he does it every time, just absolutely drives me mad because it's not something you would do.
And the fact that he has to do it every time.
Yeah.
Even when he's trying to do it out of nowhere, occasionally he'll just do a quick one. As he's jumping, he'll do a little one, and
he did it on Raw.
Do it every time.
The guy's supposed to have an absolutely mauled shoulder.
Yeah.
And he's attacked Strowman on Raw, and he gave him 3 Superman punches, I think. And in between each one of them, he did the fist cocking. It's just, why? I get it if you're in a match and you want to signal that this is what I'm going to do next. In the same way that Rock used to always crouch down before he was going to deliver a rock bottom. But he didn't.
Tuning up the bend.
Yeah, that's
he
what I mean.
He would still hit out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah.
But when he was building up to it and the guy was down and slowly getting up, he would tune up the bend.
Yeah, I mean, Randy Orton does it where he crouches down. Then, 9 times out of 10, every time he's building up for it, he's never going to hit it. But, but yeah, it just... Yeah, I mean, Ed's just said exactly the same thing. Shawn Michaels didn't have to tune up the band to hit the sweet chin music, and Big Show didn't always have to load up the fist for his punch. But yeah, he does. Roman Reigns has to do it every time, and it just completely frustrates the crap out of me.
Especially when he has to do it 4 times in every match.
Yeah.
Because he only has 3 moves.
Oh, God. Here we go again.
Oh.
I've just noticed those photos you took, Beans, of the show we were at. Is it me, or was someone get a photo from Raw? Did Strowman have a different arm taped up on Raw?
It was his right arm that he was taped up with on the house show.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Raw was... No, yeah, it was. It was his left.
Hang on.
I'm sure it was.
I think it was his left, yeah.
There we go. Go for it. I'll just look through them as you were talking there. So, oh shit. No. There we go.
See, now that makes me think that probably he did get injured on this show again now. Because he came out kayfabe for the house show wearing his stuff, but then got hurt at the house show, and then the following
just coincidentally the same injury on the other side.
He has to come out with a flaming arm bandaged up. Because I did wonder, because he obviously put him through the table, and he landed on the bottom. The table he didn't go through the middle of it. He landed on the leg bits of the bottom.
Oh wow!
So it does make me wonder whether that was where he hurt his elbow. It's on the slideshow, Smoot, if you can find it, the table one. I don't know if you can see it easy. I'm not sure, but
it may be that he.
I think I got it.
I thought, because they said he got injured at the pay-per-view, but I thought for sure that was a fake injury, because they said he would be out for a few weeks or whatever, with an injury that should take 4+ months.
It's on the stream right now.
It's on the stream, and he does go through on his left arm first, because I remember he went through it awkwardly, and he landed on the bottom bit of the table. So it does make me wonder whether that aggravated it, or if it was the cause of it, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely his right that's taped up on the house show.
Oh, he's got that cool bandage too, the one that kind of goes around the arm and across the chest.
And there you see the table,
good-looking bandage.
The table portion that caused the tape later on in the night on the canvas.
Yeah.
But that was because they just landed on the bottom bit, and he didn't really go through it. He just cracked the bottom of the table.
You can see on that photo as well. He's sort of going towards his left side, isn't he? So.
Yeah. So it does make you wonder. And there you go.
Maybe that's the reason they've not scheduled a show in Liverpool next time. I'm going back there again.
I was really, do you know, when I was there, I was really hoping Vince was going to make an appearance.
Is Liverpool still a disease?
It was funny, actually. You just reminded me. You were saying before about SmackDown tapings always being a bit sort of less attended than the Raw taping. There was a SmackDown taping where he come out and said that.
Yeah.
About Liverpool being like a bowler.
Oh God. Oh man.
To be fair, we did spend a good 10 minutes chatting with our network, so you would think he was a bit pissed off at the time.
Oh dear. Ed just said in the chat room as well, according to Michael Cole, Roman Reigns got broken ribs, torn shoulder, broken leg, and anal bleeding.
What?
What?
And also Ed said, is it wrong to wonder if Jinder Mahal has a real chance of winning the WWE title at Backlash?
I hope he does. I hope he wins it.
To be honest,
I kind of do too.
it's just like the land of like what the fuck at the minute. Like you've got Jinder Mahal going for the WWE Championship. You've got bloody Fashion Police going against the Usos. Who Usos decided to make the return in the O2 this week on SmackDown.
I hope the Fashion Police win it too.
Yeah, and they did this promo going on about 12 days where I thought, are these guys supposed to be the heels? Because now they've got the crowd chanting along for their insults. And also, what the hell? They just kept going.
Yeah,
and they were laughing. And I'm thinking, this shit's falling apart, this. Like, what is happening?
12 days.
Yeah.
12 days.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I don't know. The whole thing seems strange at the minute.
12 days.
You're just going to say that now after everything I say, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, maybe not.
Apparently not.
12 days.
It's just put WWE needs a month off. You take those.
You know, I kind of need a month off.
Yeah.
But it's getting so difficult to watch, and it's weird because they haven't added another hour or anything, but somehow I just find it so much harder to get through all the shows. I guess it's because I'm not watching live so much, and like I have to make the effort to at some point make time for it rather than having this, 1 to 4 every Monday night I watch Raw. Now I'm trying to cram it into a day, and I want to do anything else.
Well, do you know what I thought when I was thinking about it? I was thinking back to WrestleMania, and I thought, why does it feel like things have like just gone so bizarre? And the WrestleMania poster came. I think it was when I logged on the network, and it was on the show like live now, and it's obviously it has the poster. I was looking at it, and I thought, absolutely. You look at it, the front of it's got Goldberg, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Triple H, Shane McMahon, Chris Jericho, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, none of them are on TV. I mean, I know that the show is called like part-timers where they come back, and I was looking at it and I'm thinking, everyone who is big on this poster is not on WWE TV straight after WrestleMania. Everyone who is in the background, who was small, has done something. Hang on, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Welcome to the counting podcast.
Right, yeah.
8 people off that poster are no longer on TV.
Is there a picture of this poster?
Yeah.
How many people in total on the poster?
1, 2, 3. About 25 off the top of my head.
So about a third. Okay.
Let me send you the
Top third.
Well, everyone that's pretty much big.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it goes. Smoot, if you go back to that picture of Roman and Strowman in the aisle,
Yeah.
there's a really creepy yellow Roman Reigns face in the audience.
I know, just
That really freaked me out for a second.
Look, wow, I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
Hang on, what?
Hold on, let me.
I need to see this. What am I looking at?
It's a guy with like a weird.
It's like if Roman Reigns
weird
was gold
mask.
dust.
it looks a bit like.
Oh my god, it looks like a yellow avatar.
Yeah. If Roman Reigns was gold dust, that's what he would look like right there.
No, the reason why I put that picture up is look at the state of Braun Strowman's face. Zoom in on it.
Yeah.
He looks absolutely pissed.
He will not. Hold on. I have to. I gotta do some finagling here. Hold on.
I love that kid's face though, just to the not the guy, not holding the shine, but just to the right
Yeah.
of it.
There's a lot going on here. On the second look, hold on.
The best bit is I've got about another 400 pictures probably of just this scene.
Oh, come on.
We apologise for the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Well, while we're filling time, question from the chat. What seems more ineffective, the super kick or the Superman punch?
Oh, damn.
I think that's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say today's super kick.
Today's super kick?
Yeah.
What, in that it doesn't ever get sold?
Yeah, because everyone does one.
No, I think they look good though.
They do look good, but they never win you a match.
Well, that's because Dolph Ziggler does them.
He also takes a lot of them as well.
Yeah, he does seem to take a few. No, the punch is the punch.
Even Kevin
seems-
Owens is doing super kicks.
Yeah, it's true. But they still look good. I can still imagine a super kick winning a match and knocking. It's a kick to the face, and it sounds great. You get the leg slap in there, great move. But the punch, no, not so much. Not for me.
The punch does frustrate me.
I don't know why he has to jump into it like that.
There you go. Yeah, give it a sec.
We're going to be getting...
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. And then this kid right over here.
Oh, right. It's actually a mask. Oh, my God.
Yeah, this kid right here with the perfect facial expression.
Oh, wow. I mean, damn.
Well, okay, so there are 3 adult women in that shot there, and they've all got their phones out to take photos of Roman.
Well, not to be stereotypical, but all the phone cases have glittery bits on.
Well,
Oh, that's
yeah.
true.
There's
They're
one
not-
guy.
One of you's gonna make a Liverpool joke there. Go on.
Oh, yeah, I forgot this is your hometown, this will.
The door was open for you there.
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize this was like a shadow, but like I thought initially he was like they made this poster like Roman was like breathing fire with the way the shadow is.
I'm not joking. Those people with that sign had a sign for everyone, and every
Yeah.
time anyone came back out, they signed it for them. They walked out with about 15 posters, all with signatures on.
And now they have to keep them all.
If you can,
But
please,
yeah, look at Steve Roman's face.
if you can make the thumbnail for this show on YouTube, this picture right here
It has to be that.
has to be.
He looks huge.
I just realised if you zoom out again, the Roman Reigns match looks like the anonymous guy,
Oh, a little bit.
the hacker group.
Like a Guy Fawkes mask.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
A little bit. I can see it.
How's he got 3 hands?
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
One
Yeah.
with painted nails.
Yeah.
I just said in the chat, this feels like bury the British portion of the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sure there's plenty more that I'm going to be like processing all these pictures now, not looking at the actual wrestling, looking at the crowd. I need to set aside about 10 hours to process nearly 2,000 pictures. Oh god. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers the news from the week.
Sorry. You're going to just put this one up so we go. The guy on the left who somehow clearly knows you're taking a photo at that particular moment.
I've got one of Dean Ambrose staring right at me, but he does look like he's fallen asleep.
Oh my god.
Fallen asleep.
Which one are we looking at, Will?
The far left is sort of on his own, smiling.
He kind of looks like Finn Balor when he does his.
But it looks like he's staring straight into your camera.
Hold on, I gotta see this here.
God.
Trying to get a. There we go. Now it's actually showing up. That's weird.
So yeah, this is
I
great
know, right?
radio.
Yeah.
This in the last 10 minutes has snowballed into all kinds of chaos. Is there any other news, or have we covered everything in the grand scheme of WWE?
Yeah, it's been a slow week, hasn't it? So there's not much going on.
Looks like this guy's playing on a DS.
Who's playing on the DS?
This picture that I was linked to.
Oh,
It does, yeah.
does look like he is
Yeah.
actually. How rude. It's just like a collection of phone cases.
It does wear in sometimes. You see, he wears it at concerts and stuff. You see people holding the phones up, and it's.
There's the security lady from WrestleMania, by the way.
Yeah, we noticed them trying to stop.
Rob Gronkowski, yeah.
Oh yeah, Tony Bellew was there, wasn't he? That was the other bit of news. He was the ring timekeeper, and looked suitably thrilled, especially when he didn't know where to go to leave. Had to be guided out by the female security guard that nearly ruined WrestleMania.
I've looked at that photo of me before the show. He's got a weird smile on his face. Strangely happy to have a photo with me for some reason.
That's not a bad thing, Will.
Maybe not.
Is Chuck still here?
I am.
Oh, sorry,
I'm still hanging on.
I thought we'd lost you again then. Is there any other news that you want to talk about, Chucks?
No, I think we're done. There really hasn't been that much going on this week.
This is true. Smoot, there's only one thing that I need to ask you. Is Smoot here? Smoot's not here, is he? Oh, and I've just realised he sent us a message saying he'll be right back. He does have some bad weather near him at the moment, so I'm a bit worried that we're clutching him onto a radio show where he might, get blown away by a tornado or something. So yeah, I can't really ask if TNA is still in business without Smoot being here.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it is.
I'm really hoping it's not.
What's this thing about Billy Corgan buying the NWA?
Didn't I have one last week?
Yeah, but I don't know if we talked about it.
Yeah, I think.
I'm sure Smoo brought it up, but I don't know if he brought it up after the show.
You're right. Actually, it might have been after the show.
Well, it's our usual tactic. We do a show, we talk about things, and then as soon as we finish, we'd realise something that was really important to talk about. It's the way that these things work. So,
You
how's
can't even end the show without Smoothie.
how's the weather?
Drizzly.
Drizzly. I'll say. Not bad actually. Clear. I'll go with clear.
I'm hoping it's clear. I want to try and get some decent moon pictures.
Yeah, it's been full, hasn't it? It's going to be on the wane now.
Yeah, I screwed up my shots on the full moon. I was a bit annoyed with myself.
Well, I'm
But there
sure
we
we'll
go.
have one again sooner or later.
We will.
Probably be full again one day.
Ed's just said as well as TNA been in the UK recently. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know what TNA is doing anymore.
I don't think there's any live events for a few years at least.
No. Well, they used to call it the Maximum Impact Tour, didn't they? But that stopped quite swiftly.
The last time where they claimed to sell out the MEN and then we're actually only using half of it.
Oh God.
But yeah.
Did I just hear Chuck's yawn?
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
Should have muted first. I knew I couldn't get away with it, but I did it anyway.
Apparently, Lesnar and Heyman are being advertised for the July 3rd edition of Raw.
Well, they got to build up Great Balls of Fire, haven't they?
They take place from possibly the oddest named arena. They take place in the Phoenix, Arizona at the Talking Stick Resort Arena.
What?
The Talking Stick Resort Arena.
Honestly, America, sort this out.
That's great.
There's a certain thing to put in a brand name on your arenas.
I like the KFC Yum Arena.
I know, yeah, it had to be in brackets Yum.
Yeah.
Well, Yum Foods owns KFC and like Burger King and a bunch of other fast food joints.
Yeah, it couldn't just be the KFC Arena. It has to be the KFC Yum Arena.
Well, they gotta let you know that KFC is tasty when it's kind of not.
Well, explain this one to us then. What's the Talking Stick Arena?
I have no fucking clue. That's in its own genre.
Oh man. Smoot, we just have one question for you before we wrap up this week's show.
Sure. I guess you asked it when I was away.
Yeah, things all went chaos for about 3 or 4 minutes.
Great.
Is that all?
But yeah, is TNA still in business by any chance?
Oh, okay. That's a great question to ask. Let's find out. There it is. Is Impact Wrestling still in business? Here, let's do the drum roll. Let's here. Drum roll. Gotta cue up the sound effect. I had the music ready, but not the drum roll. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. It's still there. It's still
Fuck it.
Still there.
Still hanging on.
Still hanging on.
Fuck that owl.
Yeah. There was a tweet Matt Hardy gave out a little while ago. I think today or yesterday. That said if Billy Corgan was still had control, like everything would be fine. But instead, some guy from Anthem is like a fuckhead or something like that. He didn't say fuckhead, but like that's basically, read between the lines. I'll try to find it here. But yeah. No, there's still a thing. Josh and Borash are still bickering and whatnot, so.
Oh dear. Surely it can't be long.
Did I not
you
see
say
a
that.
report that apparently during the negotiations of the Hardys coming to WWE, they wanted to bring Borash with them,
Yeah.
and it actually Borash said no, he didn't think it was right for him yet. Because apparently Borash is one of the main sort of, well, what the word is, people behind the whole Broken gimmick.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the tweet. If Billy Corgan had got TNA company talent, it would have been great. Instead, a naive Ed Nordholm is now funding GFW into existence at TNA's expense. And this was from a reply to somebody. So.
Oh dear, that's not good, is it?
Yeah.
And when did he tweet that? In the last few days?
On the 12th, which as of this recording would be yesterday. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he's making comments like that when he's actually under the umbrella of WWE now. You'd be thinking he'd just keep quiet on it all.
Well, considering, TNA's still trying to go after him for the broken trademark and such, so,
Yeah, I suppose. But, yeah. So, yeah, it's just asked if Global Force Wrestling is still a thing. I believe it's still a thing on paper.
Yeah. I think Jeff Jarrett's trying to merge the two companies together. Right?
Well, I'm sure we can't wait for that one.
Right?
Yeah. I think that'll pretty much wrap it up, guys. We have, next week's show will be coming to you just before the Takeover event in Chicago. It's a pay-per-view weekend next weekend, isn't it? So
more importantly, it's the day after May 19th.
Oh God.
It's happening again.
Yeah.
Does that mean that we're going to get our annual Chuck's reading from his Kane book?
Has it been that long already?
I think we should.
Yeah. I did my preparation for this week's show and got my can of audio whoop-ass. I think, Chucks, you need to find that book for next week.
I can find it. I know where the book is. But I've also recently bought that rule book. And I haven't read that either.
Well, maybe you need to find an interesting excerpt from both of them.
All right.
That sounded like homework.
Yeah, it does sound a lot like homework. I did find the rule about, the 30-day rule for champions.
Oh, yeah.
And I tweeted it on the day. Brock Lesnar is, I guess he should be stripped.
Pardon?
Because I always, of his championship, he has now held it for more than 30 days without defending. I always justified this rule by saying that the people who tend to be stripped are stripped because they have an injury. They can't compete in the 30 days. Whereas Lesnar just disappears. He could be booked. If he was booked, he could defend it.
Yeah,
He's
Angle.
just not.
Yeah, Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt. But in the book, it doesn't say anything about is capable. It says the champion must defend within the 30 days. So WWE's own up-to-date rule book, they've just released it a couple of months ago. Apparently, if this is to be taken literally, if this is the actual shoot book of rules, which I'm pretty sure it is, then Brock Lesnar needs to be stripped of that title immediately.
Chucks, I believe Triple H has got 2 words for you.
You're right.
Quit bitching.
Quit bitching.
No, I'm one of the only people not bitching about that. I have no problem with Lesnar taking that belt and going home.
But yeah, it's not right. It's like I said, all they have to do is at least explain something and mention him. It's just like, oh, I can't be doing with Dean Ambrose being the main guy on Raw just because he's Intercontinental Champion. Anyway, I'll save my gripes for predictions for next week. But yeah, is that everything, guys? Have we covered everything?
I guess so. Yeah, that seems like a show.
Fair dues.
I'm gonna close it out with
Apologies,
this.
everyone. There's not really been that much to talk about. I know we've had a few bits of gripes about some of the UK stuff, but hopefully you've enjoyed the show.
I'm just gonna close it out with this gif of Borash and Josh. So keep going.
Oh dear. I can't believe that Josh Matthews has made an appearance on this show. So yeah. Yeah, he's on the stream right now. An argument with Borash.
I'm with you now.
So yeah, thank you very much for listening, everyone. You can follow the show on Twitter at the IWC Radio. Use the hashtag IWC Radio if you want to send us in a question for the show. Give us a like on the video if you can. Give us a review on iTunes if you would be most kind. It would be very much appreciated. Tell a friend. And
before we go, sorry, just one quick congratulations to Nick Paglino, who got married today.
Hey,
he did.
Oh,
wow!
Congratulations, Nick.
Former VOW host and
the man of 1,000 names.
The man of 1,000. Yeah.
Old Nick husband.
I was going to say, his wife now will have to choose which of the 1,000 names she's going to have.
Yeah, I doubt he listens to the show, but yeah.
Oh, I hear he's an avid fan. He loves us.
I can see him on the subscriber now.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, no, congratulations, Nick. Very well done. And yeah, so we'll be back next week. We'll be having a quick chat about TakeOver in Chicago. We'll be going through the pay-per-view Backlash, which will see the in-ring WWE debut of Shinsuke Nakamura. So there'll be a few things to talk about there. And we'll be back next week.
Good night, everybody.